Hey y'all, it's Sierra and I'm back with another pick a card reading. This reading is going to be regarding what your blockages are when it comes to romance and romantic love, romantic partnerships, romantic relationships. So for the most part, this is most likely going to be for people who are single, or maybe you're in a relationship but you might be having some issues or some problems right now. This could be for you, but for the most part, this is probably going to be for people who are not in a serious relationship. Okay, so I have 3 piles today. You are going to want to pick a pile that resonates with you, or that you resonate with, or that you feel drawn to. So if you're new to pick a card readings, you're going to want to look at one of the 3 piles, or look at all of the piles and choose one of the 3 that resonates with you. So for the first pile, we have the chain. For the second pile, we have the lantern. And for the third pile, we have the star. So again, pile number 1 is the chain, pile number 2 is the lantern, and pile number 3 is the star. So take some time, see which pile you are drawn to, which pile catches your eye. You don't want to make this too hard. Just use your intuition to see which pile is calling to you. And then you can go to the description box or the comment section and find the timestamp that correlates with the pile that you chose to skip directly to that pile. So I will give you all a little bit of time to choose your pile. You can go ahead and pause the video if you need to, if you need a little bit longer to stare at the piles and look at them. And then I'll see you at your timestamp. Hey, group number 1, you all chose the chains. Alright, so once we get into the reading, we'll see how the chain might relate to the reading and why you may have been drawn to this reading with or the symbol of the chain. So this reading is going to be about what your blockages are. I'm sorry, I am moving my tray around, just trying to make sure I get all the cards in the frame. Okay, so this video is going to be about what your blockages are when it comes to romance, romantic love, romantic relationships with people. So we're going to take a look to see what may be holding you back, or what may be keeping the person that is meant to be with you from being with you. Sometimes we need to evolve. Sometimes the other people that we're meant to come into contact with are soulmates with an S, because we can have more than one. Sometimes they need to evolve. So this is going to be looking at what our blockages may be. Okay, so we are starting off with the 6 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, the Page of Wands in reverse, and the Ace of Wands. Those are the tarot cards that we have. The rest are oracle cards. Now, the 6 of Cups, for the most part, when it comes to relationships, typically represents, it could represent youthful love. It can also represent past lovers, people that we have dealt with in the past that are trying to come back into our lives, or maybe we keep going back to them. So there's going to be 2 groups of people here. For some of you, you are going back to people who have done you wrong in the past, and you just keep going back to them over and over again. We have the patterns card. So it says, be aware of dating patterns. Stop what doesn't work. Subliminals, change subconscious patterns. So if you're constantly going back to somebody who has hurt you, lied to you, betrayed you, constantly fighting and arguing with this 5 of Swords here, does this look like a happy scene here? This looks like somebody's upset, somebody lost, somebody, they may have won the fight, but they look like really conniving, kind of like evil. Like, at what cost did you win this fight? Is this people who are willing to do whatever in order to win. So if you're constantly going back to people that are always doing something negative to you, fighting with you, arguing with you, that is a pattern that is going to hold you back. That is something that's going to block you from finding the true love that is meant for you. Somebody who's willing to reciprocate. And I feel like these people are probably coming to you and telling you that they are going to change. We have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles represents craftsmanship, working hard on a project, working hard to complete something. This person or these people, because you could be attracting several people that have the same traits. This person is telling you that they're working on themselves. They are telling you that they are trying to do better. They're going to do better. But are they actively showing you that they're working on themselves? Because with the Page of Wands in reverse, this is somebody that's uninspired. This is somebody that doesn't feel like they need to change. I have my lighter here. This is my pointer today, my lighter. My candle lighter. This is somebody who feels like they don't need to change. You're waiting on this Ace of Wands. You're waiting on this renewed sense of passion. And this person or people, they don't feel that. They don't feel like it. But they may be telling you that they're going to change. We have the Trickster card over here. I think it might be to your right. I don't know if this will be on the right or the left for y'all. But we have the Trickster and the Lover card. So they're probably telling you that they're going to change. But then you go back to these people constantly over and over again and they're not changing. They lied. See, doesn't this look like somebody that's not very honest? They lied, okay? What else do we have here? Let's see. Because that's just for some of you. Now remember, this is a group reading, so there's going to be some parts of the reading that resonate with you and some parts that don't, okay? For others of you, this Six of Cups represents the inner child. It represents childhood traumas. Something that you may have gone through as a child is keeping you from being able to emotionally connect. So you have that block. We have emotional intimacy, healing relationship with self, the inner child. Okay, and then we have trigger. So some of you have some things that you still need to deal with from childhood that are holding you back, and you may get triggered by people. Especially we have the communication here. So especially people who may communicate with you a certain way, they may talk to you a certain way, or you don't know how to clearly communicate your feelings to other people in a way that where they can clearly understand where you're coming from. So a lot of the times you may be misunderstood. You may mean something and it comes off another way, and people take what you say the wrong way. You may be triggered easily. So what you would need to do is figure out what your triggers are. What is it that triggers you when you're in a relationship with a person? Is it a certain way that they talk? Is it a certain way they look at you? Is it a certain way they behave? Is it a certain way they stand? What is it that's triggering you? Because for some of you, your communication is off. So that causes arguing, fighting, because people aren't clearly understanding what it is that you're trying to say, because you don't know how to communicate things. We have grief work here. So there's something that you're going to have to let go of. And when people think about grieving, we usually think about things that we like, that we loved, that we would hate to lose, that we don't want to lose. But you may actually have to grieve things that you should want to get rid of. Like, even if someone treats you wrong, treats you badly, leaving that person is still hard to do. You still grieve that relationship. You still may long for them. You still may think about some of the good times that you had. Most of the time, people aren't 100% bad. Situations aren't 100% bad. So you can find the good even if a situation or a person is a majority bad experience. There's still things that you may not want to let go. And some people are addicted to pain. Some people, all they know is pain. All they know is heartache. They don't know how to deal with people and circumstances that are good for them, that are good to them, that treat them right. They don't know how to deal with it. So it's time to let go of the things that did not work out well for you. The people who did not have good intentions for you. We're at a point now where we know who has good intentions and who has bad intentions. So it's not a situation where you're having to figure it out and you don't know. It's pretty clear here. But it's something that you have to make the conscious decision to let go of. So for some of you, that's what's holding you back. You may have physically left somebody, but mentally you're still holding on to them. You don't want to go through the grieving process, complete the grieving process, because leaving somebody is one thing. That's one step. But actually mentally letting the person go, that's something else, and that takes time. So it's not like you have to do this tomorrow. Just know that it's something that you need to work on. Don't keep yourself chained to people and circumstances that were meant to be temporary lessons. They were meant to be lessons. They were meant to be in your life for a season, to teach you something, to help you evolve, not for you to hold on to it constantly. So if you're constantly holding on to people in your head, even though you have left them physically, you are blocking yourself from finding the person that is truly meant for you, your next soulmate. And I keep saying that because not all of us are meant to just have one person that we're supposed to be with for the rest of our lives. Some of us have multiple people that we have soul contracts with, that we're meant to come into contact with, to learn different lessons and evolve throughout this particular lifetime. So I don't want to limit you all to just one person because that's not the path that everyone is meant to take. So some of you, it is a childhood issue that you're holding on to that you need to let go of. For some of you, it's people that you're mentally holding on to that you need to let go of. And for some of you, it's just constantly going back to the same person or people over and over and over again, even though they are showing you that they are not being honest with you when they are telling you that they're going to change. They are tricking you. They are energy vampires. They want to take your energy. They're going to do so as long as you allow them to do so. Okay, so we also have shame, humiliation, feeling abandoned, and passive conformity. So as far as the shame and humiliation, for those of you that have something that happened during your childhood, during your youth, it may be connected to that. So you may want to look into that, maybe look into some counseling, maybe look into some sort of therapy to help you to work through that. So that way you are not attracting those same circumstances into your life. And so that way you don't feel like you deserve somebody that does not treat you well. When you have shame, when you carry shame, and when you feel humiliated to the point where you carry shame, subconsciously you are telling yourself that you don't deserve better because you're ashamed. When you're ashamed, you don't feel like you deserve better. Even if you think you feel like you deserve the best, subconsciously, if you're feeling shame, then you are feeling like you don't deserve the best. And that's what you're attracting. You attract what you feel like you deserve. So if you don't feel like you deserve the best, you're not going to attract the best. You're going to attract what you feel like you deserve. So it could possibly be abandonment issues. Maybe one of your parents was not active. Maybe you had, your father wasn't there. Maybe your mother wasn't there. So you have abandonment issues. And you're constantly keeping yourself chained in a codependent type situation where you have abandonment issues, you don't want this person to leave you. So you do whatever it takes to try to keep this person around, even though you know they're lying to you and they're telling you they're going to change, and you know they're not going to change. They might change for a week or a couple of days, and they're back to the Page of Swords or the Page of Wands in reverse, uninspired. They don't feel like they need to change. They don't feel like they need to keep it up. They're back to being that trickster. They tricked you. So when it comes to this Courage card, it does take courage to admit that you do carry shame and you do carry humiliation, and it's going to take courage to confront that. So for those of you that have those feelings, don't be afraid to confront those feelings. It may seem scary. You might cry. You might get angry. You might feel a little depressed, but it's there. So if you keep it bottled up inside of you, you cannot get rid of it. It's suppressed. If you have something that's suppressed, that means you're holding it in and you cannot get rid of it. So what you would need to do is address it, not suppress it. Address the issue, because once you address the issue and acknowledge that it's there, then you can release it and let it go. So go through all of the emotions that you need to feel, but have the intention on releasing it and letting it go, so it's not holding you back and it's not affecting your relationships in a negative way. If this is something that you do not feel safe doing on your own, then that is where therapy and counseling may come into play, where that might be something that you want to try if you feel like you need the help of a professional in order to address these issues and these problems. Let's see, what else do we have? We have the Expansive Thought card. And the animal is the Emperor Scorpion. I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody got some loud music going on in the background, so hopefully y'all can't hear it. So anyway, it says, protect your peace, trust your intuition, and remove negative energies from your life. There are new things and experiences to make space for. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to the people that are constantly going back to the same old type of situation, or people that are suppressing their feelings and emotion. You're not making room for new things and new experiences. So you're blocking them out because you're not cleaning out the old. You got to do some spring cleaning. Clean out the old experiences that you want to release and let go to make room for the new. I heard some saying before, and I don't know exactly how it goes. It's something about you can't get your husband if your ex-boyfriend is still in the bed occupying his space. Something like that. Stop letting that old person keep coming back to you, because they're taking up space for that new person that's meant for you, that's going to treat you right, that's going to have more of the qualities that you want out of a relationship or a person. With this trust your intuition, that's what I was saying earlier. This is not a situation where you don't know who's good for you and who's bad for you. It's pretty clear. So don't lie to yourself. Don't be your own trickster. It's one thing for somebody else to try to trick you and play games with you, and it's another thing for you to lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Trust your intuition. You know that this person is telling you they are the Eight of Pentacles, they're working hard, and they're really the Page of Wands in reverse. They're not working on anything besides their new way to try to trick you into thinking they're working on something. Next, we have the Appreciation. Atlas Bear. Take charge. Use... Okay, so this is supposed to be your, but it's you, so that threw me off. There's a typo. It says, use your mental and physical strength to overcome adversity. Protect and cherish what you love. So appreciation, first of all, you need to appreciate yourself. Because if you don't appreciate yourself, other people are not going to appreciate you. So make sure you appreciate yourself, and make sure the people that you have around you are also appreciative of you and the things that you do for them. With this, use mental and physical strength. For some of you, working out might be good for you. It releases good endorphins. So that might be something you want to incorporate. You might want to start working out more. You might want to go take some boxing classes to get out some frustration and aggression. You might want to go to one of those rooms. What do they call it? It's like these little places you can go and you can literally destroy things. Like, they have cars that you can smash. Hold on, let me turn my phone off. So many disruptions. They have like cars you can smash. You can take like a bat and literally just destroy things with it. I wish I knew what those places are called, because I would like to go to one of those places. But if you need to do something physical to kind of get some of your aggression and your emotions out, and it's something that's legal, that's not going to land you in trouble, like getting in a fight with somebody or something like that, go ahead and find a physical activity that you can do. For others of you, it's mental. That's what I was saying. It says mental and physical strength. For some of you, you are mentally holding on to a situation or a person that you're no longer in, or you're no longer with this person, but you still are allowing them to take up space in your mind. So you're not going to be able to attract something new. Even though you left that person and situation behind physically, you're still mentally attached to them. And that's why we have the chain here. So regardless of which situation you're dealing with in this group, there's a couple different situations, but everyone is dealing with being attached to something. Everyone in this group is dealing with being attached to something that is holding them back, and that is a block. Okay, so I hope that made sense for y'all. Sometimes when it comes to these readings, yes, there are three main groups, but then there are subgroups within the main groups, if that makes sense. Especially because I usually do 4, but today I decided to do 3. So hopefully you all were able to follow this. Sometimes it gets a little tricky doing these readings when there's so many people that are going to be watching, because there's so many different situations that can come up in different details that each person may be dealing with. So I hope that something in this reading resonated with you so that you can address it and heal. If it did, please feel free to leave a comment. Please like, share, and subscribe if you feel called to do so. I would most certainly appreciate it, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Hey, group number 2, you all chose the lantern. So we will see how that applies to your reading after we go over some of the cards. I usually will give some information about the image before I start the reading, but I want to try something new today. Go over some of the cards first and then see how the image relates to the rest of the cards. Okay, so this reading is going to be about what your blockages are when it comes to love, when it comes to romantic love specifically. So relationships, romantic relationships, romantic partnerships. What is holding you back? What is keeping you from being able to meet people that reciprocate what it is that you need? Why do you keep attracting people, the same type of people? Why do you end up in the same type of relationships? Whatever the block is that you feel that you have, this reading will give you some insight as far as what the block is if you don't know, and what may be causing it. So I have my lighter here to assist me with reaching some of the cards, okay? So first we have the Fool, then we have the King of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Hermit, okay? So what this is telling me is, if you want to find love, if you are wanting to find that special someone, if you're wanting a more serious relationship, you're gonna have to actually do something to get it. Put yourself out there, okay? If you're thinking it's just gonna fall out of the sky and you never go anywhere. Or you never go anywhere where you're around, sorry, I shook the camera. If you're never around other adults, if you're never around whatever sex it is that you are attracted to, if you're never in situations where the odds of meeting someone and starting a romantic relationship, you might not find it. So if you're thinking it's gonna like show up at your door and knock on your door, that's not going to happen. You're going to have to be the Queen of Wands here. You're going to have to go out a little bit more. Get out a little bit more. Be a little bit more open. Be a little bit more social. The Queen of Wands is a social butterfly. People are attracted to her though. So it's not like you're not attractive. It's not like people aren't attracted to you. It's just that you're not really putting yourself in situations where it's favorable for you to meet someone. So it's time to get out of hermit mode. You may have been healing. You may have been taking time to do self-work. You may have been taking time to focus on your job, your career, your children, a special project, whatever. For whatever reason, you've been in hermit mode lately. And this is not talking about COVID or anything like that, because technically we all been kind of in hermit mode. But this is like, you don't really do too much of anything when it comes to being social. So we have the Fool. Time to put yourself back up there, back out there. If you're wanting to meet that King of Cups, somebody who is emotionally mature, somebody who is willing to offer you the love that you want, it's time to get out and be the Queen of Wands, okay? Let me see what else we have here. Like maybe we can get some information. Oh, we have the Hermit card here again. So we have the Hermit twice. So that's definitely a part of it, okay? King of Cups, Prince. You want your Prince Charming. You want your King of Cups. But you're not going anywhere to meet them. You're not putting yourself in situations to meet them. Or you're not... maybe you're not inviting enough. Maybe you are giving off an aura that you don't want anyone to come up to you and talk to you, or you're too busy, you don't have time for love. If you say stuff like that, if you're saying I'm too busy and I don't have time for love, that's going to be a blockage, okay? Because you're physically putting it out there to the universe. And I'm talking to myself. I'm not just talking to y'all. I don't pick a pile before I do these, because I do readings on myself and I get readings done on myself, so I don't really pick piles, but sometimes the piles do resonate with me. This pile is definitely resonating with me because other people have been telling me this about myself. So you're not alone, okay? We have the Volunteer card here. So it's kind of like you could meet somebody if you go volunteer somewhere, but it's also just saying like volunteer. Make it... I'm not saying make the first move, because I don't necessarily believe like in making the first move if I'm a woman. Everybody has their own beliefs. If you feel like that's going to work for you, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. But when I'm saying volunteer, I'm saying make sure you have an aura that's inviting. Not like a desperate aura like, come talk to me, pick me, pick me. Not like that. But just an aura about yourself that people feel comfortable to come up to you and talk to you. You don't have like, what do they call it? The resting face. I don't curse, so I can't say the whole thing. But y'all know what I'm talking about. The resting face. You don't just look mean and like you don't want somebody to come up to you and talk to you. Make sure that, you know, you're looking like you're pleasant to talk to. Okay, but we also have, we have the 1 date card. So it says, give it at least 1 date. It takes time to know someone. Take a chance. Switch up your type. You know what? Switch up your type. Maybe you need to go for somebody that looks different than any other person you've dated, or somebody that has a different career. Like, okay, so for me, I tend to attract people that are in the military. They have nice muscles. They have tattoos. Pretty boys, they're prettier than I am, okay? I probably might want to switch that up. Maybe it'll work better for me if I get, somebody that's not in the military, or somebody that is just extremely clean cut, no tattoos, just a straight up businessman. Maybe I need to switch up my type. So maybe you're dating people that all have the same type of job, all have the same type of look, all have the same way of thinking, or they have the same way of communicating. Maybe you need to find people who communicate differently. So what I'm showing is also, because you are very attractive, because people are drawn to you, and that's where this lantern is coming in. People are very drawn to you. People like to withdraw from you as well. So they're drawn to you and they like to withdraw from you. You have good energy. People like being around you. People like sucking up your energy. Not necessarily on a level of an energy vampire where they're malicious with it, but it's just like people like being around you. Sometimes that can get overwhelming. And sometimes that can cause anxiety. We have the anxiety card here because you feel like you're always having to be there to help people. You're always having to be a crutch for people. So you may have, with this fear of responsibility card, you may feel like you're always the one that's helping other people. Whenever it comes to a relationship, and this is even more than romantic, you're always the one that's giving more than receiving. People are always withdrawing too much from you. So you have kind of created like a wall to try to keep people from taking your energy. We have the boundaries card. It says, don't hide from your emotions. Dig deep and discover your true inner self. Protect yourself with healthy boundaries. So yes, we do need boundaries, but the key words are healthy boundaries. Don't totally seclude yourself to the point where you're not getting healthy contact from people. As human beings, we do need to have contact with other people. There are times where we need to go into seclusion and we do need to go into hermit mode. It's not meant to last forever though. So make sure you have a balance. We have balanced emotions. What does it say? Regain your balance. Release negative energy and take charge. Spend some time with people who keep you grounded. Spend some time with people who keep you grounded. Okay? So the theme here is get out and have fun. If you want to find love, get out and have some fun. Get out and spend some time with friends. It's not necessarily saying go out looking for love. It's just go out, period, and have a good time. Of course, you're going to want to be safe, with the standards we have in place, with the state of the world right now. But get out and have some fun, okay? You're a very responsible person here. We have the mother card too, so you could be a parent. You don't necessarily have to be a mother. You could be a mother. This could be for, people who are just parents or fathers, period. But you may be focusing so much on motherhood. How many times do we hear mothers say they got lost? They lost themselves because they had children, and that's the number one priority. And it should be the number one priority, but you kind of have to be sometimes. Like, it has to be, like, if the parent isn't doing well and isn't healthy emotionally themselves, how can you be at your best for your children? So it's kind of like, yeah, the kids need to be the number one priority, but you kind of need to make yourself a priority too, because you need to be at your best for your children. When you're happy, your children are happy. Our children want to see us happy, okay? So if you're a mother and we have the fear of responsibility and the greed, don't feel like you're being selfish, because we do have the greed card here. Don't feel like you're being selfish to put your needs first. If you are wanting to be in a relationship, it's up to you if you have children when you feel is the best time for you to be able to do that, because that does make it more difficult. We have to be careful who we date when we have children, because who we date, if it gets serious enough, is going to have an effect on our children. But don't feel like you're being selfish or like you're being greedy if you're taking some time to go out and have fun. If you're taking some time to go on a few dates. Don't feel like you're being greedy if you do that. And also for this greed, this goes two ways. Because you're the Queen of Wands and people like being around you and people like to withdraw from your energy, it's kind of like you just feel people are greedy sometimes. And people are greedy sometimes. People take from you and they don't help to replenish your cup. So we have the trust issues card. That has caused you to develop some trust issues. We have unloved. That has caused you to feel like you're not loved. Because if people love you the way they say they do, why would they be so selfish? Why would they be so greedy? Why would they want to take all of your energy and take from you and not replenish and not reciprocate and not treat you with the same kindness and respect that you treat them with? Why would they even ask you to do some of the things they ask you to do, knowing that you're a mother, or knowing that you have a business to run, or knowing that you don't really have too many people that you can lean on and call on, but yet people are constantly asking you for stuff? That can be a block. That can create a subconscious block in your mind because you have trust issues. And you feel like people just want to take advantage. That's kind of the curse that comes with being somebody that's very attractive, or being somebody that people just like to be around, or that has good energy. It's kind of like a gift and a curse. Because you don't know who to trust. That's where you're going to have to lean on your intuition. We have personality traits. We have funny, great personality, compatible, resonance, connection, sunny, light. Okay? You have the type of personality. Even if you're not the nicest person, like, people are still drawn to you. People still like your energy. You might literally be the type of person that you, when you walk in the office on Monday, you're purposely looking down at your phone, even though you don't have anybody that's calling you or texting you because you don't really feel like talking to people. And people are still coming up to you trying to talk to you anyways. It's time to kind of let some of the... Hey, group number 2, I'm back. Y'all know what happened. My camera overheated. So I kind of lost some of the momentum I had. I think I was off on a tangent before the camera cut off. So anyways, let's talk about this Take the Next Step Now card. So again, it's like, okay, you did what you needed to do as far as going into hermit mode, healing, taking some time to yourself, taking some time to take care of your children if you have children. Now it's time to get out, take the next step now, go on a date with somebody. Okay, we do have the fake profile card here. It says liar, scammer, creeper alert, do a background check. Not genuinely interested, or not who you think. So you may have had some experiences with dating, whether it be online or whether you met the person at the grocery store or whatever, where people were not who they portrayed themselves to be. People weren't honest about who they were. I feel like people know they can't step to you on some BS, so they have to make themselves seem a certain type of way if they know that they're not really in your league. So don't get discouraged. Everyone has encountered people who lie. People who are fronting, you know, about who they really are. What you're gonna have to do again is just ask for stronger discernment. But don't let that hold you back. Don't let that keep you from meeting a really great person and having a really great time and going out on dates and just doing something for yourself because you're worried about people lying to you about who they are, If you have anxiety around dating because you've had people who have not reciprocated in the past, you don't want to subconsciously be thinking that all men or women are the same, or you've run into the same type of person so many times that you're bound to run into that situation again, because you will manifest that. You will create that situation for yourself. So that's why it's very important to look into what your blockages are when it comes to love, finances, career, family, happiness, whatever, because it could be things that you aren't aware of. There could be habits and patterns and thought patterns that you're not really aware of that are causing these things. So even if you don't feel like this resonates with you, I would still take some time to sit with yourself to see if some of this really does apply to you. I'm not showing here that you can't get what you want. I'm just showing that you need to go out there and meet them halfway. You gotta show up, okay? You gotta be present. You have to get out and start enjoying yourself, and then you'll start attracting people to you that may be the one. They might be the person, the next soulmate that you have, okay? We have more than one, so I'm not gonna say they are, you know, your life partner. I don't know. Some people have life partners, some people don't. Some people have several soulmates that they are meant to meet throughout this lifetime. So, you know, that's up to y'all, and that's up to whatever soul contracts y'all have. But get out there, enjoy yourself, have some fun. I'm gonna take my own advice, and I'm gonna do this as well, because I think this applies to me, because I've been in hermit mode for 2020 period. So I'm probably gonna stay that way until 2021. But if this resonated with you all, please feel free to let me know in the comment section. If it didn't, you may want to check out another pile. And please feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you feel called to do so. I would greatly appreciate it, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Bye. Group number 3, you all chose the star. So we will see how that relates to the rest of the cards in a moment. Now this reading is regarding what your blockages are when it comes to romantic love. So if you are having trouble attracting the type of person that you want, if you feel like you're always attracting the same person over and over again, your romantic situations don't last long, they're not working out, whatever blockage you feel like you're having, or maybe you don't even know what your blockage is, this reading is going to kind of give you some more insight as far as what your blockages are and why you might be having them. Okay, so we are starting off with the Wheel of Fortune. I have my lighter to help me. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Page of Pentacles, the Judgment card, and the Chariot. Now, I am looking at your cards, and I don't see any cups here. Now, if you understand tarot, then you know what the cups stand for. But if you don't, I'll tell you. The cups stand for emotion, communication. The swords can stand for communication too. But the cups are more about emotion, love, relationships, things of that nature. We don't have any cups here, and this is a reading about love. So that is interesting. Now, what I will tell you is we have a lot of pentacles. Page of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, that's all we have for the Pentacles. So what I am seeing with this Judgment and the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune and all of the Pentacles, is it's just not a time for you to really focus on love right now. Right now, what you need to be focused on, based on this reading, if it doesn't resonate with you, hey, that's fine. But based on what I'm seeing, don't shoot the messenger, okay? Based on what I'm seeing, what you need to be focused on is your finances, is your stability when it comes to the material world, your abundance and your prosperity. We do have the money issues card here. This does not mean that you have money issues. For some of you, you might, but for some of you, it's just saying that you need to focus on your financial stability more. Let me read what it says. So it says, fighting over money, heal root chakra, lack of trust, fear and safety, security, survival, control. So for some of you, it's not necessarily that you have money issues, but money issues may have been a problem in your previous relationships. You may have fought over money a lot. You may have had different type of spending habits than your partner. Maybe they spend too much money and you're not comfortable with that. Maybe you spent too much money and they weren't comfortable with that. But they say that finance is one of the big things why people get divorced. So yes, it can be cheating, but a lot of the times finances have something to do with it as well. So for some of you, financial and material stability has been an issue and a block for you when it comes to relationships. Maybe you have felt like you have not been able to find someone who is financially stable. So you may want to make sure that you're dating somebody on your level or above your level. If you're always dating people and you have to pay for everything all the time, that can get tiring. That can get frustrating. So for some of you, it's that. For some of you, you need to focus on your own finances. So we have the leveling up. You deserve the best. Major improvement. Doing inner work. Dealing with past hurts. Some of you need to focus on your own finances and get yourself in a better position, or whatever position you feel comfortable in. Maybe you're not just out on the street broke with no food to eat. That's not necessarily what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is, are you comfortable with where you are in life? Are you comfortable with your finances right now? Hurry up, child. My son is making some noise right now. Okay, bye. Life of a mom. Anyways, so maybe you're not necessarily out here broke, but you just have financial goals that you want to meet. And until you meet those goals, you might not feel comfortable being in a relationship because you're constantly working. Like maybe you work a lot because you're trying to meet a certain financial goal and you don't have time for a relationship. You don't have time to give to someone. And is it fair, if that is the case? Is it fair to the people you're dating if you know that you're not going to have the time to put into dating them because you have other priorities right now, and your money, your finances, your job, your career may come before them? That might be something that's causing issues in your relationships with people, or that might be something that might be a blockage. Maybe it's the other way around. You could be dealing with somebody who never makes you a priority because all they care about is their job and their stability. There's nothing wrong with that. I think where the issue comes in is the communication and being honest with people. If you're not able to make somebody a priority because you have to worry about your finances and your goals, if you're communicating that to them and they still decide to stick around, okay, they can't complain. But if you are not being honest about it, I think that's where the problems might come in. So if that's something you're dealing with, you may want to look into that. But for some of you, you really do need to work on your stability. We have, again, leveling up, magical mindset. So get to a point where you're able to manifest the material things that you want and that you feel like you need in order to be stable. With the Advocate and the Samaritan card, as well as the poet and shape shifter. Some of you need to become a little bit more independent when it comes to finances and stability. If you are thinking that somebody is going to come and save you, if you always have to depend on somebody to come to your rescue with this Advocate and Samaritan card, it's time to be your own advocate. It's time to make sure that you are stable financially and material wise, and that you're not having to depend on other people. Some of you are working on your careers with this Chariot and Judgment. Some of you are working on your life purpose right now, and unfortunately that's coming before your relationships. The people that are out there that are life coaches, the people that are light workers, the people that are healers, people that people come to all the time for advice, for help. A lot of the times it's hard for those type of people to be in relationships with people because they are helping so many other people. It's hard for them to have the time for themselves, let alone a relationship. We have service and gratitude. Some of us, we aren't necessarily here to be playing around with people. We have a bigger calling. We have a bigger calling on our lives. Does that mean we have to be single forever? No. That just means right now, for some of you, you're supposed to be working on your life purpose and moving things further along with that. And then once you start living in your purpose a little bit more, then you may meet that soulmate. You may meet that person that was put on earth with you to help you to carry out your life purpose. So for some of you, it's that. Okay, we have the self-care. So if you're not taking the time to take care of yourself, we have family changes. If you're not taking the time to make sure you're okay, if you are not comfortable being by yourself and you feel like you always have to be with somebody else, that could be a block. You have to be comfortable being by yourself. And you have to take the time to make sure you're good. Especially the people with the service and gratitude card. The people who are always constantly out helping other people. Make sure you're taking the time to take care of yourself. We have the meditate card. We have strategy. Bitter. These are some interesting cards. We have bitterness, disgust, obsession, and hopelessness. Back to this magical mindset. If you're bitter because relationships have not been working out for you in the past, if you're hopeless because relationships have not been working out for you in the past, time to get out of that mindset. As far as the disgust and obsession, you might be just so done and through with love and just disgusted with the concept because you might be dealing with a little bit of bitterness. Maybe you've had some people who were obsessed with you. And looking at you like this Page of Pentacles is looking at this pentacle. But with the Wheel of Fortune here, that doesn't have to be a constant in your life. You can change that. You just have to change your mindset. Okay? Don't be constantly thinking about the negative things that have happened to you when it comes to relationships. Don't obsess over replaying things in your mind. It's okay to think about some things that have happened to you in the past, but don't obsess over them. So this is kind of like pile number 1, where we have a main pile, a main group, but there's different sections within the group. So for some of you, some of this may apply. For others of you, other parts of this reading may apply. It's up to you to take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Some of you need to work on your finances and getting yourself financially stable. Some of you you are being called to start living in your purpose and not necessarily be focusing on love at this time. And love may come to you as you are living in your purpose. Some of you, your mindset, you're holding on to anger, bitter, disgust, hopelessness, obsessing over the things that went wrong. And it's time to let that stuff go. And that's pretty much what I'm getting. Now, I do want to read these two cards for the people who are being called to walk in their purpose and that are being called to be of service to others. So we have the service card, and it says, help others without carrying their burdens for them. Hold yourself and others accountable and work diligently together. And then we have gratitude. You are part of a greater whole. With determination and gratitude, prosperity and abundance will manifest. So for those of you who need to change your mindset, with determination and gratitude, prosperity and abundance will manifest. Remember that. For those of you who are being called to walk in your purpose and help others on their spiritual journeys, or help others who may have been in abusive situations, or whatever it is that you're being called to do. I know it seems unfair at times. It seems like it's such a lonely position to be in, because it's hard to maintain a romantic relationships a lot of the times when you're being called to be a leader to other people. If you're a healer, if you have certain spiritual gifts, but just hang in there. Just continue to walk in your purpose. I feel like you can manifest the love that you want as well. It just might not be the time for that right now. What I'm seeing for everyone in this group is focusing on love is not necessarily the most beneficial to you all right now. There are other areas of life that you all need to be focusing on, but that doesn't mean it's going to be this way forever. So that's what I got for you all, group number 3. I hope it made sense and resonated with you all. Once I turn the camera on, I just start talking. I don't know what I'm going to say until it comes out of my mouth. So hopefully it resonated. If it did, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Also, please like, share, and subscribe if you feel called to do so. And thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this reading. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Bye.